One of my earlier appearances on here, we did talk about the Celtics a little bit, and I remember saying they're probably going to have one of the best records in the league post All-Star break, and then they're going to win the championship, and then everybody's going to be saying that, oh, we expected them to do this because they're the best team. I think that the Celtics still to this day have the best 5 to 7 playoff rotation in the league. Got I switched up a little bit for a little bit there with OKC, but at the end of the day, I just think the Boston Celtics have the best lineup to go out there and win a championship. And I think next year maybe OKC overtakes them. But as far as Jaylen
Damn,
Brown,
it's
Derek
always
White,
next year.
Jason
OKC.
Tatum, KP, and Drew Holiday, I just think that's the best defensive five, the most well-spaced offense. And I got them winning the championship this year.
I feel like everything
injuries
necessary.
considered.
I feel like everything that's necessary that you need to win it, they have it. Everything you need.
Yeah.
You need elite perimeter play. They got that. You need elite perimeter defenders, even though both Drew Holiday and Derek White, who were all league defenders last year, are a bit down this year, but they still play at a high level. We got that. How about box work? We got that too. How about stretching the defense? We can do that also. How about rotation guys? Shit, we got 8, 9 guys that can do that. That's not a problem. How about getting on the glass? We're one of the best rebounding teams, if not the best rebounding team in the league, right? Transition defense, transition offense. Whatever you're looking for when you're talking about a championship team, in particular with their starting five, they have it. Whatever you're looking for. And then when you dig deeper into their bench, they don't really lose much. I'm not going to say that they don't lose anything at all because, of course, when you take Jason Tatum out of the lineup, when you take Jaylen Brown out of the lineup, when you take Porzingis out of the lineup, you're going to lose something with these guys. But it gets supplemented. It gets supplemented by the things that those other guys do. So the fact that Pritchard, he's able to get to the rim and create even more shots for those second unit guys. And this kid Shireman, he looks really good for them. I mean, he's a gem that they found, right? So I don't know if he's going to play in the playoffs, to Jordan's point, because when the rotation, when the playoffs start, the rotations, they shorten up, and I'm not sure if he's going to play in the playoffs, but he's looked really good for them. I just look at this team, and I think that everything that you need to win the NBA championship, I said this last year when they won it, everything that you need to win it, they have it. So go do it. And they did it. And I don't think that, barring injury, unless we have a major collapse, there's no reason for me to think that they can't do it again.
I also think that the Celtics are probably going to be this, outside of OKC, probably going to be the second best defense in the playoffs. I think that players like Drew Holiday, who's older, longer in the tooth nowadays, probably is going to be a 16-game player more than an 82-game player for the remainder of his career. So, criticizing Drew Holiday regular season defensive performances, to me, I'm not really with that. I think he's going to be an elite defender in the playoffs. I think the same about Jaylen Brown. I think they're fine-tuning going into the playoffs. And I think they're going to run through the Eastern Conference. I don't think Cavs are the comp. The only comp they have in the league is OKC. They're going to beat the Cavs in 5-6 games, max.
Real talk. Those are solid points. Because
wait a minute, Ron. If they smoke Cleveland, in the playoffs,
nobody will be surprised. Chill.
Word.
Nobody would be surprised.
Nobody. I don't think people will be surprised. Most people have Boston winning.
I got them winning.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland lost in the first round.
And they smoked them, though. Like, we just walked right by these dudes in 5 games.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland lost in the first round.
I mean, not really. We went through it yesterday.
What?
Cleveland is a bad matchup.
Have you seen?
Yeah, they don't match. The Cavs don't match up well with the
lost
Celtics.
in the first round.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland lost in the first round, for real.
Who would they lose to?
Now that.
Let's say they play the Magic. Let's say they play the Magic. They could easily lose to the Magic in the first
round. Not without Jalen.
I don't know, but easily, but
I'm on Mars page. I don't think the Magic win 1 game if they play them. I think they smoked them in 4 games.
Yeah. Okay.
But to be fair, Paolo looking Paolo-y again.
Yes, he is. 100%.
That's cool.
He's not looking.
What if they go to
Orlando at full strength
than Paolo?
Orlando at full strength, though. I can see it. I can see it if Orlando was at full strength. But right now,
Orlando they're going to be good and fun next year for sure. Jalen Suggs come back. Yeah.
Hey, but hold on about the Celtics. I don't know who had the topic yesterday about the best third option in the NBA.
I did.
I think one of those sleeper ones could have been Porzingis, bro.
Like I thought he was gonna go there. I was like sitting there with my fingers crossed. I'm like, please don't say Porzingis because I am dead if he does.
Bro,
if he did,
Porzingis as a third option, like that's the hump. Like that's what the Celtics obviously need, and that's probably why they're gonna repeat. Bro, Porzingis is spectacular. Number one on offense and defense. That's for starter. So I don't think nobody in the East. The Celtics may lose 2 games on the way to the championship. They may just lose 2 games. Like, especially if Porzingis is healthy, how he is, bro. But I like real talk said, I don't think the Celtics have no competition in the NBA, to be honest with you.
They have one team
in the NBA.
Yeah, they have a team.
Don't have no competition.
They have a team.
Slow down.
Jordan.
Okay. See,
I know Jordan. I know you
see some comp.
I know you're sick right now, so you might have missed the news this morning. Guess what? Michael Jeffrey Jordan just came out of retirement.
MJ back.
He back.
The GOAT back.
The Bulls ain't no goddamn comp for the Celtics.
His no.
And he plays for the OKC Thunder. Okay, look.
What?
Yes.
Don't make those nasty ass comparisons.
He changed his number to 2, baby.
Look, what
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like that. Them young boys is not coming. Okay,
not at all. No key.
Them young boys is not
when they come at all. Okay, we're gonna make a deal right now.
Oh, so it's not a matter of if.
Unless I get myself canceled off the panel before that.
Would you focus?
By crashing out too much. Okay, I'm gonna make a deal right now. When the OKC Thunder, not if, when the OKC Thunder win a championship, I'm gonna need you to say, "My bad, Mr. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. My bad, OKC Thunder."
So is J-Dub Scottie Pippen? Is J-Dub Scottie Pippen?
Yes, he is.
What?
Okay.
And I'm gonna need Chet to start dyeing his hair blonde and get on board.
No, me too. Real talk, because y'all gonna take that and run with it.
Do you see what they're doing to the? Do you see what they're doing to the NBA? More importantly, do you see what they're doing to the stars?
The Oklahoma City Thunder could very much so lose in the Western Conference.
They could.
So
they could also
the
beat
Celtics.
Boston.
It's not possible for the Celtics to
round.
lose.
I was about to.
Well, that's fine because the West is better than the East. That's cool. But if Boston
Yeah.
see OKC, that's a good matchup, and OKC can win.
4-2.
They could, yeah, they definitely could. I just don't think they will. I got Boston in 6, but I think
4-2.
OKC lose to in the West.
No doubt they could.
If everything goes wrong, man, Houston got something for. But you know,
Stop.
OKC
goes wrong, like the whole team gets food poisoning.
Denver. They could lose to the Lakers, the Clippers, Denver, and Minnesota.
Denver not beating the boys.
Minnesota.
All I'm saying is who they could lose to.
Minnesota's an interesting one.
I'm just saying that they could. That's all.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
I get it.
Hey, I just want to say, Gifted bringing up that whole Julius Randle nonsense. I listen to it again. That shit is nonsense. About bringing up if Anthony Edwards win a championship with Julius Randle, you know how much that would do for his legs. I promise you, nobody's gonna say this man won a championship with Julius Randle. I can almost guarantee you.
People will be saying that.
Gonna say that. I promise you, nobody's
gonna
say
right
that.
I mean, if Julius plays well, then like, who cares? Like,
nobody's gonna say, bro, that shit is nonsense.
You appreciate how I snuck a little James Harden glaze in my debate in the very last second, right? At the buzzer. It was like the Kawhi buzzer beater. I literally hit a Kawhi buzzer beater. It bounced, and then it went in. James Harden.
It was a buzzer beater. It wasn't no Kawhi buzzer beater though. That's
to make it seem like
I want to bring it back to the Celtics though. We'll get into the PCL later.
Okay, I was just because we talked about the Timberwolves. That's why I was bringing that up because that's crazy as hell.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
let's bring it back to the Celtics though, because I think Real Talk and Jordan made some fair points. And one of the things Real Talk said was kind of like they are more so focused on 16 games than 82 games. And that's been fair. But even when you look at this, and I mean, think about it. They're a veteran team. They're fresh off a championship. They've made deep playoff runs, most of these guys throughout their career. So it's like 82 games is nothing to them. They know that the main thing that they need to focus on, the meat and potatoes of their season, is this 16-game playoff run. But the thing that stands out to me and shows me that this team is really, really, and I mean, obviously we know the Celtics are the Celtics. They won a championship last year. We know they're very good. But the thing this season that stands out to me for them is they literally have taken care of business on the road. Being 32-7 on the road is that's amazing.
Impressive.
Best record in the league.
That's amazing. And I expect them to win their other 2 games on the road this year and go 34-7. That would tie the best record ever on the road. And I do also want to throw this out there too, because there is another team that only has 7 losses on the road, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're 29-7. So if they go undefeated on the road, them and the Celtics both will be 34-7. Which
that's why I brought up to you, which is why I brought up to you, Ron. Even though the Celtics are only 4 back from the Cavs in the playoffs, you're gonna have to go win on the road, and the Celtics, who better to do that than them? And if I consider how well they've played on the road, how well Jason Tatum and Porzingis particularly have played on the road, I give them just as good a chance as anybody in the league. So if I have to see them against Cleveland in Game 5, because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it's not as difficult to win Game 1 or Game 2 on your home floor as opposed to when we go into your building and it's Game 5. And the loser of this the loser of this game is now facing an elimination game on the road. If we come into your building and we win, and now you got to come into our building and you're facing an elimination game, the temperature goes up on these guys. The temperature goes up, and a lot of these guys who aren't familiar with this kind of stuff, they'll fold. So the fact that the Boston Celtics are as good as they are on the road and they're battle tested, I think that's an advantage for them.
This whole battle tested stuff, to me, like, if you're great, you're great, right? I understand experience goes a really long way, but Isaiah Hartenstein has experience. Alex Caruso has experience. These guys are, they've had playoff runs with, good success. Do you know what I feel like people are not paying attention to the OKC Thunder. What are the OKC Thunder doing right now? What are they doing to stars? Cade is averaging 11. Granted, in 1 game, but we're not going to mention that. Spider Mitchell is averaging 9 against the OKC Thunder.
Don't leave out Jaylen Brown. Don't leave him out. Shut the
Jaylen Brown just shot 5 for 15. And by the way, the Celtics, that whole, everyone's like, oh, they won all their games except this 1 game. Yeah, don't forget what was that loss? That was OKC.
What is Tatum averaging against them?
Like 30.
Yeah, I think 28.
Conveniently left. Yeah, I do remember him playing very well against them.
They're stopping the Celtics' best player, Jaylen Brown. Okay, they'll let Jason. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. No, but look, what I'm saying is they're taking care of business. They took a team like Chicago that's been on a bit of a run, and they sunned them. Yesterday, they sunned them. They said, we know you got cute. We know you won some games. We know you're comeback kids and all that stuff. We're going to blow you up by 40 just because we can. Just because we can.
Clearly some separation between them and the Chicago Bulls. Like, I know what you guys have been doing, but we ain't that good.
They now have the best net rating of all time, tied with Chicago.
All time.
Yeah.
All time.
Wow.
The hell? I mean, it's just
back to that MJ argument you were making earlier, Penn.
I mean, let me put it this way. And real talk, you're gonna love this because I'm gonna give you some serious ammunition here. Do you know that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is literally shooting the same thing at the same percentage at the rim as Jokic? He's a guard. He's a 6'6" guard. He's shooting like over 70% at the rim. Okay, I mean, this is a guy. You can't stop this guy. You cannot stop this guy. You can hope to contain him. This team is connected. They're locked in. They play defense. They can beat you 5,000 different ways. And I feel like they're kind of load managing Chet. Do you realize how many minutes Shai plays on the season?
Like 33, 34.
Pretty much, yeah. He's not extending himself. He takes care of his body. All these guys they're very well rested. They're very
I think
well
the last
rested.
guy to do that.
He's
if I'm not
averaging
mistaken,
33 in 33 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When Joel Embiid was doing.
Don't forget when Giannis was doing it, and when he won the league MVP in 20, I think he was averaging like 32 minutes or something like that. He was averaging like 29 a game, some nonsense like that. So he was doing it too. And same thing with Curry when in 16 when he led the league in scoring. I think Curry was averaging like 32 minutes a game, something like that.
He's getting his points 3 at a time. Not moved.
What
You
you're
shoot the long ball, so it doesn't matter, I suppose.
My,
this Oklahoma.
But I mean, hey, chill.
sorry, Mo.
You
Oklahoma
remember that? You remember that entire conversation we had about per rate stats
per
last
100.
night?
Sure, we had
Per
that
100.
sure.
Okay, so it's interesting you brought up Curry because that 15-16 season, which I don't know, some people would say that's the best Curry season of all time. Would most people agree with that?
Yes.
Do you know Shai is actually scoring 46 points per 100 possessions? And Steph only scored 42.5. It feels stupid to say only 42.5, but when you're clearing someone by 3.5 points per 100 possessions, that's a pretty big margin.
Yeah.
He's shooting identical. Like, here's the crazy thing about Shai, which if I asked you who's a better free throw shooter, who would you say?
between.
I'd say Curry.
Shai and Curry.
This year,
I'll say
Shai,
Shai. I'll
Right.
say Shai.
you would say Shai? It's
Yeah.
it's Steph 90.8 versus 90.1 from the line.
I mean, you factor in the volume. Shai's
Yeah.
better. Yeah, you
Right.
factor in volume. There you go.
When you okay, come on
Right.
now. Okay.
You do got to factor in volume because
Yeah,
Curry,
one shooting
Curry's
4
only
free
get
throws, the
6.
other one shooting 9.
And
It's
13.
like,
Yeah, it's like,
the
what the hell?
craziest number of
double
all of this,
production.
and the craziest number, Cho, to just point how great a scorer Steph is. We all know that 3-point shooting and 3-point volume boosts up scoring. If
Sure.
you take more threes, you're going to score more points. Literally half. Steph takes literally half the threes that Steph was. Shai takes literally half the threes that Steph was taking in that year, and he's
scoring as many
scoring
points.
more.
Yeah,
per
getting at the
minute,
line.
per whatever, per possession, per 75 possessions, per
Gets it
100
at the
possessions.
line though. That's why
He does get to the line, absolutely.
he get it at the line. Yeah.
But he's not getting to the line at twice the rate that Steph was. He's getting to the line 12.
Well, he leads the league in
times.
scoring without shooting free throws. Just so you know, he's
pretty
leading the league in
impressive.
scoring without shooting free throws. I know that's ridiculous, but if we're on a collision course, guys, if we are on a collision course with
Shai is
Oklahoma,
having a phenomenal season.
it's ridiculous. I know it's crazy. If we're on a collision course between Oklahoma City and Boston, how? Because again, you know how I feel about the champ. This is where the belt is. You ain't got to beat. We don't have to beat you. You got to beat us. How does Oklahoma City beat the Celtics 4 times in a week?
You know what?
the
Cho?
same way they beat him this season.
Let me.
Okay, so Mars,
know,
it's a lot different playing me in December and then playing me again in March, as opposed to playing me on Tuesday and seeing
I'm
me
talking
again
about
on
in terms of a
Thursday.
matchup. That's what
Okay,
I'm talking about. Like,
and
I'm talking about
you
the
have
matchup. That's what. This is the same formula.
but you have less time to adjust to things because we're adjusting.
What's
a lot
the
quicker
adjustment for
because
the fact that Jaylen Brown has no one he can attack as a mismatch?
I'm
Sure.
glad you brought that up, Mars, because first of all, the biggest problem that Coach Mazzulla has had with Jaylen Brown is he's put him on the basketball against Oklahoma City. That's not going to work. That is not going to work at all. We have to take him
Until
off
it
the
does
ball.
in the finals. Until it does.
Well, we have to take him off the ball. And what I mean when I say take him off the ball, get him more involved in quick hits. Get him more involved in quick shots. He's dribbling the basketball. That's why Jalen Williams, that's why Case and Wallace are able to take him out of the game, because he's got the ball and he's 6, 7, 8 dribbles, which is what he's not good at all. And it throws their offense off, the Boston Celtics. So that's an adjustment that needs to be made, and it's going to be made on the fly.
How do you get those quick hits for Jaylen Brown?
I think you get those quick hits off down screens. I think you get those quick hits off pin downs. I think you get those quick hits in transition. I think you get those quick hits off back screens, like when he's dealing with Porzingis. Because the back screener, whenever a guy back screens, he's the guy that's open because the help is going to go to his guy. So he's coming right back to the basketball, and I can get something right in the mid post. I can get something in the mid range. Those are quick hits. It's just like in transition. One dribble pull up.
This might be very controversial, but Chill, what are you going to say when they pack this team up in 5 games in the finals?
What are you gonna say?
Yeah,
if the
you had
Celtics packed
Boston
them up in
losing to
6
Dallas last year.
Yes.
So,
Who?
Yes,
Hold
I
on.
did.
Who pack who
Yes,
up?
I did.
5 games. It's crazy.
Who loses in 5 games?
he has Boston losing in 5 games.
To who?
To Oklahoma
Okay.
City.
And I'm going to tell you what.
What are you gonna say when
Why?
Jaylen Brown
You
go
know
for
why?
40
You
on
know
Oklahoma
why?
City Thunder?
Because
He's
in
definitely
4
gonna probably
games,
do
they're
that.
in 4 games they're going to stomp them, and in 1 game, Boston's going to be crazy from 3, and they're going to steal one.
They're gonna steal
here's-
one. That's crazy.
here's
But
the
Jordan, that's all I want to know. What y'all gonna say when Jaylen Brown get the cooking them boys?
When Jaylen Brown scoring over the top of Case, you give him
on
credit.
Alex Caruso and
You
Case
tip
and
your
Wallace.
hat. That's what you do. You tip your hat. When
If
Jaylen Brown does that, you tip your hat.
OKC, I will finally respect him.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Jaylen
ahead.
Be
Brown
real
does
with
that.
you,
You
I
tip your hat.
I respect the Finals MVP.
I'm
Crazy.
not going to
Nah.
overreact. He's a
You
great
said
player.
I didn't respect him over Finals MVP.
All year,
I
this
said you
OKC
can't
team
respect the
has
Finals
been
MVP.
doubted. They have been told they are
Oh,
not
no,
the
not that
favorites,
Andre
that they're
Iguodala
too
is
young, that they're too this. And I'm telling you, they're bottling all this up. When they get to the finals, if they get to the finals, I'm going to say if, because I want to respect the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Lakers, and literally all these fantastic teams in the Western Conference, because they will have to fight to get there for sure. We can't put the cart before the horse. You got to win 12 games before you get there. But let's just say I'm way more comfortable saying the Celtics will come out of the East. Earlier in the season, I was like, maybe Cleveland. No, I can't. So Celtics for sure. I'm gonna put them in the East, right? But when they get to the finals, they're coming for blood. This is a team that has like real dog in them. They're not coming to beat you. They're not trying to win this. They're not trying to win this championship. They're trying to
Penn,
win
wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, Penn.
and
We're
leave
talking
no
about-
doubt.
Wait a minute, Penn. We're talking about a Boston Celtic team that hasn't repeated since the 60s. What do you think this means for the Boston
And
Celtics?
they're not going to
You
repeat
think that they
until
think
your
that they
children are
skipping
very,
into the
very
finals?
old.
You think that they just skipping into the finals against a young Oklahoma City team? They looking at them dudes like you standing in the way of history.
Well, no
They're gonna-
one gets to the
What
finals. It's
history?
like, oh well, they want to win.
A two-peat?
You're in the finals for a reason.
Two-peat's a
Both teams
history?
wanna win.
100%.
Why is it
100%.
history? What history?
Why is it history?
Yes.
Because the Celtics haven't done it since the 60s. That's 60 years ago. That's number one.
And they're
Number
not going to
two,
do it until the
number
60s of
two.
this century.
Number two, since 1987-88 to 1997-98, we had a repeat champion every year.
Mhm.
That hasn't happened since in the NBA. So
Ain't happening this year either.
that for no, I'm not. I don't mean because the Warriors repeated, the Heat repeated. I'm talking about every year for a decade. We had a repeat champion every year. But with that being said, with the Celtics repeating, with the history that they have championship teams, and they've been to the finals and haven't been able to repeat. This would be a huge deal for them. And to go up against an Oklahoma City team for what you're talking about, as good as they are, how much better would this be for them to do that against them?
So you think like Joe Mazzulla, like reading them Bill Russell's biography, huh? Like, hey, we got.
I
we
wouldn't
gotta-
be surprised.
We
I would-
gotta
If any
gotta
coach is doing that,
make
I
history,
wouldn't-
fellas.
I wouldn't be surprised.
OKC don't give a shit about your Celtics history. They're trying to make their own history. They've been beat down. They've been under. They're not talked about. They're a small market team. They got
ain't been
this.
through that much. These little niggas is barely.
Are you kidding me? You know how much losing they did, Ron?
You
know how much losing?
How much losing? What?
How much
Yeah, but
losing
they
have
haven't
the
been doing
OKC
that
ever
much
done?
losing.
They
They
haven't
haven't been
lost
doing
more
that
than
much
Jason
losing.
Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
I was
and
about to
Drew
say that,
Holiday.
Ron.
What
It ain't like the Celtics was in the finals every year and they was winning every year.
Let's be real. Since Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum been there, they have been perennial Eastern Conference Finals locks every year, almost
every year.
Right.
They've lost in the finals.
This is what
They've lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. They've lost in the second round.
Okay,
They went
Ron.
there and they've lost time after time.
Boston are more experienced.
Ron.
Yes, Boston.
Boston's definitely more experienced.
Penn is saying that OKC all of a sudden they have the guts and the glory to win a championship because they've just lost. No,
Ron,
these young niggas got drafted.
Dog.
They got
you wouldn't
their
know
asses
anything
kicked
about
their
that.
rookies and sophomore years, and they got better. If you ask me, OKC actually has more to go through to build the heart and the character of a champion. A champion isn't just birthed. You have to go through the rigors. You have to go through the.
I mean, I was born.
Boston.
The highest net rating of all time isn't moving you.
It definitely is, but history does say that OKC has some more losing to do before they win the championship.
That's the point I'm making. Like, who just came into the league and won? Now you're gonna say Magic Johnson. Who did Magic Johnson have on his team?
Like losing the finals this year.
How long does the team have to lose for before they win?
Probably with their trajectory, right? Probably losing.
Last year they were lost because of experience, apparently, and then this year they still don't have enough.
They probably losing the finals this year. Probably losing the finals this year, and then probably get their one next year. Yeah, next year they'll get their one next year.
3 years of losing isn't that long. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying this, but I just want to know where we're at. So when OKC losing this year, will they be you guys' favorites next year?
I don't know. I got to see what happens in the offseason. All I'm saying, though, Mars, is like when a championship team like the Celtics building up to Ron's point, they went through, like a 5-year, getting there, losing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. Like Ron said, I don't think there's any set amount of time. All I'm saying is, it's not a knock to them, to me, if I say that they'll lose to the Celtics right now, because it's like they're not. That doesn't kill their chances. You know what I'm saying? That can only make them stronger. That's all I'm saying. Like it's not an indictment against OKC to lose to the Celtics in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care about the highest net rating of the century. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't matter.
Why not?
So because I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
why not?
Ox cares about
why does it not matter?
Basketball, because at the end of the day,
stomping teams by the largest margin in NBA
because
history
I know
matters.
Because I know.
Yeah, but the strength of schedule, Pin.
Because I know.
You know what I mean? So it's like
that's a really bad argument when you're talking about 72 games, but okay.
So so for me, that's all I'm saying. Like if OKC were to lose to the Celtics, I would be like, yeah, that was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? And then
it's a knock to have OKC losing. I think it's a knock to say that the reason they're going to lose is because they don't have experience.
I feel like
there has to be more reasons.
They just imported a whole bunch of experience.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm not using that as an excuse to why they're going to lose. Honestly, I haven't even made up my mind who's going to win. It was just Penn saying the fact that they got so much guts and glory, and they're out for blood, and they're ready to sweep anybody. I'm like,
they might be out for blood.
Penn storylines. He said story of everything. He's just
for sure. And I get that too, Penn. And I'm not saying that they're not young dogs. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, what makes you think Boston's not out for blood too?
No team gets to the finals and it's like, oh yeah, we've done it. Let's just
every team in the playoffs trying to win.
Like, you make it there. Like at that point, both teams in the finals are both gonna be going all out to try and win. It's not like there's no such thing as you wanted it more in the finals. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You made it there.
That shit drives me crazy when I
hear
that.
Oh, they just wanted it more. And you're in the finals. You can't want it more than this. Like, you're not going to lose because they wanted it.
If it was like one game, you would have a case. But it's like
that's just not going to happen. You're not going to lose a series in the NBA finals because they just wanted it more. Like, that's just not.
Chill. You can't say that, Chill, because you always talk about Doug Christie and Chris Webber not being with the drama. You know what I'm saying? So you can't switch up on this now, Chill. You can't say that. You can't say that.
May I?
What if Jason Tatum not with the drama, Chill?
Okay.
What if that's the case?
Yeah, because I've seen them silver dollar eyes.
Just because you ain't
with
with
the drama,
we
hope Golden State don't win the West.
Last I checked, just because you ain't with the drama does not mean you don't want to, though. You just ain't with it. You don't think Chris Webber wanted to win? You don't think Doug Christie wanted to win? They just wasn't with it. They say have enough to do it. Ox, just because I'm hungry does not mean that I'm gonna eat before you do. That does not mean that. And the fact that Chris Webber, as good as Chris Webber was, and because he wasn't with the drama, and Doug Christie, who, quote, I have never been more scared in my life. That does not take away from the fact that he did want to win, though.
Right.
He 100% wanted to win.
I've seen so many players played against, coached. All these different players. There's different personalities in people. You got people that are just soft-hearted, where it's like they're really good at basketball. They might be really good at something, and they scared to compete, and they'd rather just lose. Like winning, there's a lot of people that are great at sports or great at anything, but are too scared to win. Because
that's why when Ron said about born winners,
they be terrified. They're like, I'd rather just lose. I'd rather just lose than compete with that person. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Ron at every level. That's at every level. You can get to the NBA and be soft-hearted. You could be a great basketball player. At the end of the day, you see somebody else line up against you, you'd be like, damn, I'd rather just fold.
Get mad at you, Ron. Bullshit.
They just bitch made. And I'm not saying that's them, but it happens. It happens a lot.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.